Hi mathematicians, today we are going to be talking about the perimeter of rectangles, which I know you've studied before, but the twist today is that your side lengths will include fractions. So let's take a look at this one where we're given the length and the width of 5/8 an inch and 4/8 an inch, and we need to calculate the perimeter. Well, there are a few ways you can calculate the perimeter, or the distance around the outside of the shape. For a rectangle, perimeter is just going to be adding up all of the side lengths, right? So length plus width plus width. Another way you could write that, or a shortcut way, is you could think I'm going to do 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Or an even shorter way, I'm going to do the length plus the width and take them both and multiply, or take that sum and multiply it by 2. So let's try that. Let's apply that formula for this problem. I know that my length plus my width would be 5/8 plus 4/8 equals, when we add fractions, we keep our denominator the same, good, and add the numerators, so I would get 9/8, and that's 9/8 inches, right? That's just 2 of the sides, when a rectangle obviously has 4 sides. So now I need to take that 9/8 and double it. So 9 times 2 is 18, and I'll keep my denominator eighths, so that we get 18/8. 18/8 would be acceptable, or I could simplify that using the power of the equivalent fractions rule. I see that both my numerator and denominator could be divided by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 9/4 would be another acceptable answer. Or I could convert that to a mixed number. Do you know what that would be? 4 goes into 9 2 whole times with 1/4 left over. So all of these, 18/8, 9/4, 2 and 1/4, all acceptable answers as long as you include your units, which if I just summed up all my inches, my units are still inches. So on your problems today, feel free to use whichever strategy works best for you, adding up 2 of the side lengths and then multiplying by 2 like this formula we did, or just adding up length plus width. Both will work. Okay, now at this point you need your math journal, so if you don't have it already, please go ahead and grab it. And drumroll please, we are going to do my favorite problem in the entire Volume 2 math journal. And I think you'll see why by the time we finish. So open up to page 289 and let's tackle this problem together, because if you can do this, you will be ready for anything. It says, solve the problem below, show your work in the space provided. Miss Wyman wants to install a metal fence around her rectangular backyard. The perimeter of the rectangular area she wants to enclose is 170 and 2/4 feet. 4 panels of fencing, each one 7 3/4 feet wide and 2 2/3 feet high, were needed to complete a side. What are the dimensions of the sides of the rectangular area Miss Weinman wants to put a fence around? Let's just start with that question. So go ahead and underline your question. What are the dimensions of the sides of the rectangular area she wants to put a fence around? And I'll put that as what I want to find. I want to find the width and length of her fence. Now, I know I want to find that. Well, what do I already know? Look back at your problem and think about that. If you said you already know that the perimeter is 170 and 2/4 feet, that is correct. It's very important to note they give us the perimeter, not the other side length this time. And then we know she used 4 panels with these dimensions. Now, how wide the panels are, that's important, right? Because they're going to go side by side by side by side to get the kind of this total width right here. But We don't actually care how high her fence is, so I'm just going to cross that 2 2/3 feet high out. It's just extra information I don't need. But we do need to know that there are 4 panels, each 7 3/4 feet wide, and that equals 1 side. We also know her fence is a rectangle. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw this out. So I'm going to go to a new workspace. Hopefully you have enough room. If you need a scratch paper, definitely use one for this. As I said, this is a doozy of a problem. So let's go ahead and draw. If I had these 4 panels together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are going to be one side of her fence. Then we know that's the width, and then there's some length of her fence, and that's going to be on both sides, and then the width will match on this side because it's a rectangle. Okay, we know each of these panels was 7 3/4. So now can you figure out the total width of this side? If you said 7 3/4 times 4, you are correct, right? And I know 7 times 4 is 28. 3/4 times 4 is 12/4, but my eyes! Oh, I'm not going to leave an improper fraction in a mixed number. No way. 12/4 is the same as 3, so 28 plus 3. Okay, guess what? You just found one side length. 31, and what are my units? Feet. Now, remember, we also knew that the perimeter was 170 2/4. So now we have this total width is 31. Well, if that side's 31, so is this side, right? And that's going to help us find the missing side length. And this is something you'll need to do. So in problems that you practice on your own today. So if you need to rewatch the video, then you may do so. But let's go ahead and do this together now so that you'll feel prepared. So if I'm thinking about the perimeter is the total distance around, and so far 2 of the side lengths are each 31. Well, that already takes care of 62 feet of the perimeter. So I'm going to go ahead and take that away from my total perimeter. And I know that 170 minus 62 is 108. And then the 2/4 remains too. So now that's telling me that these 2 blue sides together have to add up to 108 2/4. And how many of them are there? There are 2 of them. So I really just have to take this measurement and split it in half. Well, 108 split in half, and these are larger numbers than you'll probably deal with on your HomeLink and future problems. But like I said, if you can do this problem, you can do anything. 108 divided by 2 is 54. And 2/4 split in half, I'm thinking what plus what will equal 2/4? Well, that's just 1/4. So guess what? You have found the other missing side length. 54 and 1/4. Is that fences, dogs, cats? Of course, it's feet. Right? And that was, it had to be that, so that when we add up all 4 sides, we'll actually get this total perimeter that we were given. Now, as an added bonus, if you would like, you can solve this. How many more fencing panels does she need? And you could post that on your Seesaw assignment as well to get some extra credit. But we're going to leave it at that for today. I mean, wow, look at all your beautiful problem solving. I hope you feel so proud of your hard work and ready to tackle anything.